Hello children, hope all are doing good. So this is the first session of the lesson number 16, Our India Political and Cultural. Our India Political and Cultural. So India, our country, has its own geographical, historical, political and cultural background. So you know that India is a country with its own geographical, historical, political and cultural background. It has a rich heritage. So you know that India has a rich heritage. History has recorded that India was ruled for many centuries by several foreign rulers. So you know that India was ruled by many centuries by foreign rulers. So foreign countries has ruled the India for many centuries. Among the Europeans who came to India, the British ruled for a long period of 200 years. So, among the Europeans who came to India, the British ruled for a period of 200 years. So, the British ruled our country for more than a period of 200 years. As a result of the fight for freedom from the British rule, India became an independent country on 15th August 1947. So you know that what happened? Yes, as a result of fight for freedom. So Indians, they fight for the freedom from the British, and finally India got independence on 15th August 1947. Until then, India did not have a definite boundary. So, before independence, so India was not having a definite boundary. So, after independence, it has a definite boundary. At present, India is one nation with the union of states. So, you know that at present, India is having many states. And in this lesson, we are going to study more about India. So first we will study about the location of India. So where this India is located. Children, observe the map on the screen. India is situated in the southern part of Asia, which is the largest continent in the world. So India is situated in the southern part of Asia. So on the map you can see that India is located in the southern part of Asia, and you know that Asia is the largest continent in the world. Latitudinally, India extends from 8 degree north to 37 degree north. So latitudinally, India is located 8 degree north to 37 degree north latitude. So this is the latitudinal degree of India, that is 8 degree north to 37 degree north. And longitudinally, it extends from 68 degree east to 97 degree longitude. So longitudinally, India lies in 68 degree east to 97 degree east, and it shows that India lies entirely in the northern hemisphere and is at the center of the eastern hemisphere. So on the map you can see that India lies entirely in the northern hemisphere and is at the center of the eastern hemisphere. So Tropic of Cancer, a special latitude, passes through the middle of the country. So on the map you can see that. So children, look at the map on the screen. You can see that a special latitude known as Tropic of Cancer. So what is that special latitude name? Tropic of Cancer passes through the middle of the country. So this divides India into almost two parts, North India and the South India. So this special latitude, that is the Tropic of Cancer, divide India into two equal halves, that is the Northern India and the Southern India. So you can see on the map on the screen. Hence, India has a tropical climate in the southern part of it and subtropical climate in the northern part. The Tropic of Cancer, a special latitude, passes through the middle of the country. So, on the map you can observe, children, a special latitude passes through the middle of the country, and that is known as the Tropic of Cancer. So the special latitude that passes through the country is known as the Tropic of Cancer, and it divides India into almost two parts, North India and the South India. So this Tropic of Cancer divides India into two parts, that is the Northern India and the Southern India. Then hence India has tropical climate in the southern part and subtropical climate in the northern part. So as it is divided into two parts, the tropical climate is in the southern part. So southern part we get the tropical climate, and in the northern part we will get the subtropical climate. And India is the 7th largest country in the world with respect to area, and is the second populous nation after China. So India is the 7th largest country in the world, so with respect to area. So when you calculate with the respect of area, India lies in the 7th position. So 7th largest country is the India, and the second populous nation after China. So you know that China is the first populous nation. So after that comes the India. So India is the second populous nation after China. So next we will study about the India and its neighboring countries. So India and its neighboring countries, which are the neighbors of India. So children, observe the map on the screen. So the neighboring countries of India are Pakistan and Afghanistan to the northeast. So towards the northeast, our neighbors are Pakistan and Afghanistan. Nepal, Bhutan and China are to the north. So towards the north, our neighbors are Nepal, Bhutan and China. And Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east. So towards the east you can see the Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east, and to the southeast is the Sri Lanka. So towards the southeast we can see the Sri Lanka is our neighboring country. So it is an island and it is separated from India by Palak Strait and the Gulf of Mannar. So you know that Sri Lanka is an island. So it is an island and it is separated from India by the Palak Strait of and Gulf of Mannar. So these are the boundaries of India. So towards the northeast, our neighbors are Pakistan and Afghanistan. Then Nepal, Bhutan and China are in the northern are in the north. Then Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east, and to the southeast is the Sri Lanka. So when you look at the map, you can see that Sri Lanka is an island and it is separated from India by Palak Strait and the Gulf of Mannar. So children, observe the map on the screen. So you can see that in this map we will learn how the states, islands and water bodies are distributed. So on the screen you can see a political map of India. So in this map we will study how states, islands and water bodies are distributed. Peninsular India is surrounded by the seas and the oceans and has 7,516.6 km long coastline. This helped the growth of foreign trade, shipping and fishing and shipbuilding. So the peninsular India is surrounded by the seas and oceans. So you know that when you look at the map you can see that India is surrounded by seas and ocean and has 7,516.6 km long coastal line. And it helps the growth of foreign traders. So you know that because of the seas and oceans, this help in the growth of foreign trade, shipping, fishing and shipbuilding. Then the water bodies which surround India are the Bay of Bengal in the east, the Arabic Sea in the west and the Indian Ocean in the south. So when you look at the map you can see that the water bodies which surround India are the Bay of Bengal in the east. So towards the east you can see the Bay of Bengal, and towards the west you can see the Arabic Sea, and towards the south you can see the Indian Ocean. Then the Andaman Nicobar Island are in the Bay of Bengal and the Lakshadweep Islands are in the Arabic Sea. So on the map you can see that Andaman Nicobar Island are in the Bay of Bengal. So Andaman Nicobar, it is an island, it is in Bay of Bengal, and Lakshadweep is also an island and it is in the Arabic Sea. So children, when you observe the map, you can see that the water bodies surrounding India on three sides. So when you observe the map, you can see that the water bodies is surrounding the three sides of India. Such a landform is called peninsula. So the three sides of India is surrounded by water bodies. That is why we call it as peninsula. So that is why we are calling India as peninsular India. So South India is a peninsular. So you can see that on the map, the three sides of the India is surrounded by water bodies. That is why India is called as peninsular. Then a piece of land surrounded by water on all sides is called an island. So a piece of land surrounded by water. So if it is a piece of land, it is surrounded by water. So it is known as island. So if a piece of land is surrounded by water on all sides, it is known as the island. Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep are the islands in India. So what is an island? A piece of land surrounded by water. That is known as the island, and Andaman, Nicobar and Lakshadweep are the islands in India. So what is peninsular? The three sides of the India is surrounded by water bodies. So 1, 2, 3. So these three sides are surrounded by water bodies. That is why we call it as peninsular. And what is an island? A piece of land. It is a piece of land surrounded by water. That is known as the island. So next we will study about the administrative division of India. Administrative division of India. So children, once again look at the map on the screen. You can see that the state boundaries on the map. So you can see the state boundary on the map. But there was no boundary lines on the earlier map because as mentioned earlier, before independence, India was ruled by several foreigners. So, but before independence, India was ruled by many foreigners. So, India was not having a definite boundary. The country was fragmented into hundreds of small princely states. So, before independence, India was fragmented, or fragmented means pieces of. Made into pieces. Hundreds of small princely states. So hundreds of states was there before independence. Then after independence, in order to carry on smooth administration, the boundary line of the state were recognized. So after independence, in order to carry out a smooth administration, so administration should be smooth. So in order to be smooth, the boundary line of the state were recognized. So a definite boundaries were made after independence. The State Recognition Act of 1956 was a major reform of the boundary of the state of India on the basis of language. So on the basis of the language, India was reformed into boundaries and into the act known as the State Recognition Act of 1956. So a State Recognition Act of 1956 was the major reform of the boundary of the state of India on the basis of language. So on the basis of the language, India was made into boundaries. There are a large number of languages in India. These indicate the diversity of language. So there are many languages in India. This indicate the diversity of languages. Of these, 15 languages has been recognized as official languages and are printed on Indian currency. So I already told you there are many languages in India, but of these only 15 languages have been recognized as official language. So there are 15 official languages for India, and these 15 languages is printed on the Indian currencies. So in their notes you can see these 15 languages. In India is the 7th largest democratic country in the world. So already I told you India is the 7th democratic country in the world. It is divided into 29 states and 6 union territories and 1 national capital territory, which is India. So India is divided into 29 states. So India is having 29 states, 6 union territories. So how many union territories? 6 union territories and 1 national capital territory, that is the Delhi. So India is divided into 29 states, 6 union territories, 1 national capital territory, that is the Delhi. So this is how India is divided. So it is divided into 29 states and 6 union territories and 1 national capital territory, which is Delhi. So you know that the capital of India is Delhi. Since the states are divided on the basis of languages, it becomes easy to understand their environmental, economic, cultural and regional traditions. So already I told you India is divided into on the basis of the languages. So India is divided on the basis of languages. So it becomes easy to understand the environment, economic, cultural and regional traditions. Every state contributes its speciality towards the buildings of great India. So with the help of the map, you will be able to understand the different states. So when you look at the map, you are able to understand that every state contributes its specialities towards the buildings of great India. Then the government of India is officially known as the central government. So you know that the government of India is officially known as the central government. It is the governing authority of the country's state and union territories. So this the country's state and union territories are governed by the central government. The main offices are located in New Delhi, the capital of the country. So majority of the main offices are located in the New Delhi, which is the capital of India. The administration of the state is managed by the state themselves. So each state is maintained by the state themselves. So state administrative will be there. They will rule each state. This system is called state government. So there are 2 types of government, that is the central government and the state government. So states are governed by the state government, and India, the government of India is officially known as the central government. Every state has its own capital for the purpose of administration. So each state will be having their own capital city. So you know that Karnataka, which is the capital city, yes, Bangalore is the capital city. So like that way, every state is having their own capital. The union territories are ruled directly by the central government. So this already I told you there are 6 union territories and 1 national capital territories. So this is ruled by the central government. So they are directly ruled by the central government. They do not come under any state. So this union territories does not come under any state. They are directly ruled by the central government. The governor appointed by the President of India is the administrator of the union territory. So the union territory is administrated by the governor. So the governor appointed by the President of India. So the governor is appointed by the President of India. So this governor administrates the union territories or ruled by the union territories. There are 6 union territories. And already I told you there are 6 union territories, and we will learn what are these union territories. The first one is Diu Dam. So Diu Daman, the Damra and Nagara Haveli, Chandigarh, Lakshadweep, Puducherry, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So there are 6 union territories. What are they? Diu Daman. So Diu Daman is the first union territory. Second one is Dadra Nagar Haveli. So Dadra Nagar Haveli, then Chhattisgarh, then Lakshadweep, Puducherry and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So these are the 6 union territories. So next we will study about unity in diversity and integration. So India is a land of many religions. So you know that India is a land of many religions. Hence people follow variety of costumes. So because people belong to different religion, the people follow different variety of costume. So on the screen you can see that people following different variety of costume. Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism and Jainism are the major religions of India. So which are the major religions of India? Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism and Jainism are the major religions of India. Besides, followers of other religions are also found in the country. Thus, India is a land of many religions. So, already I told you, India is a land of many religions. Hence, people follow variety of costumes. So, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism and Jainism are the major religions of India. And besides, not only these religions, besides people of other religions are also found in India. Thus, India is a land of many religions. The pictures of different religions are seen on the screen. So, respecting all religions, living together in peace and having the feeling that we are all Indians is integrity. So, we know that different religions are there in India. So, we living together in peace. So, we should live together in peace and having the feeling that we are all Indians. So, we should feel that all are Indians and that is known as integrity. That is known as integrity. So this is about the first session of the lesson Our India Political and Cultural. So in this lesson we have learned about the location of India. So you know that India is situated in the southern part of Asia. Then we have studied about the neighboring countries of India, which are the neighboring countries of India. Then we have learned about the administrative division of India. So administrative division of India. So before independence, India was not having a definite boundary. So after independence, on the basis of language, India were divided dividing the boundaries. Then we have studied about the government. So Indian government is known as the central government and state is there. State is ruled by the state government. Then we have studied about the 6 union territories. Already I told you there are 29 states, 6 union territories and 1 national territory, that is the Delhi. Then we have studied about the unity in diversity and integration. So India is a country that has different religion, that is Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism and Jainism. And not only that, there are many religions that is followed by different people. Then respecting all religion, living together in peace and having the feeling that we are all Indians is known as the integrity. So this is about the lesson. See you next class. Thank you, children.